Hello everybody. So I know MSTR is not doing much right now, but under the hood, this stock is performing. He bought nearly 500 Bitcoin, 587 Bitcoin. So yesterday I said 500. I wasn't too far off. But the big deal is the official confirmation that he was ATMing on stretch. We could see it on the chart. He was ATMing on stretch, not letting it go past 100. ATMing to keep the price below 100. And what's particularly compelling is that for the first time he did the ATM, he did 26 million, which, as far as I recall, is the strongest number for a preferred ATM at the start. That's a very big number. 52% of the proceeds came from stretch last week. So if we didn't have stretch, we would have bought 200 Bitcoin essentially. If we didn't have stretch, we bought 500 Bitcoin because we had stretch. So stretch is a big deal. Stretch is working, and if you look, I mean, we're at 99.94 right now. When I did a screenshot, we're at 99.88. The point is, last week we had 4 days out of 5 where we were consistently ATMing, where stretch was ATMable. And you can see we traded right below 100 every time, and it will bring it down. My guess is that at some point today, we will reach $100, and when we reach $100, it will ATM again. So we might have 5 full days of possible ATM on stretch this week, which means that the buy next week would be even bigger. And let's not forget, next week we have the Stream buy. He's going to buy thanks to Stream. And I know the market for Bitcoin is a little weak right now. The indices are bouncing back, but it's a different flow for the indices than it is for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very sensitive for liquidity, and even though there is optimism that the government shutdown in the US will end, it still hasn't happened, and we still might have to wait 3 or 4 days, and then how many more days for liquidity to actually hit the system and affect Bitcoin? You know, it's gonna happen eventually, right? It can't be closed forever. But unfortunately, we are continuing the slow bleed. But it is really a slow bleed. It is not the catastrophe that you will read everywhere. It is really, really a slow bleed. It's like, okay, Bitcoin's up a little bit and strategy is down a little bit. We continue this slow bleed. At some point, it will stop. But the point that I really want to make is that you can't really buy any form of duration on strategy, because it's a fool's errand in my view. We have no idea to know when this pops. You know, it could be in January, it could be in June of next year, or it could be next week. We have no idea, and that's why I consider playing the options on strategy, buying them is what I mean here. I consider this to be a very dangerous game. I think the common stock, in my view, is the best type of exposure. And that's how I have exposure to this stock, the common stock, because I can't time the market. Everybody was predicting an Uptober. We had a Rectober, and everybody was predicting a Moonvember, which was supposed to be even better than an Uptober. And it seems like we're not getting that, at least for now, because the government is shut down and the liquidity is not flowing in to the quote unquote riskiest part of the market as the market sees it, right? I don't think Bitcoin is risky, but the market sees it as risky, so it ranks it as even more growth, even the growthiest part of the market. You will notice that even though Bitcoin strategy, it's all weak, but it's not the only thing that's weak, right? A lot of the small caps in AI are weak right now. A lot of high growth small caps are still weak, right? It's the big caps that are rebounding today. A lot of hyper growth stocks I cover on the channel are weak right now. You know, like HIMS, for example, is weak again. And why is that? I have no idea. I mean, there's no liquidity. That's the thing. There is very little liquidity coming into the market. And so that's why we can't predict when this is resolved. Even if they reopen the government, we might go through all of this again at the end of January, because there could be another shutdown in January. So that's why I don't want to buy duration. I just want to own the common and just sit and relax, and that's it. And I comment on this because of the channel. But anyways, the catalysts are here, and I'll conclude with this. The catalysts are here. We had Fed voting member, board member Miran said that he was thinking a 50 basis point cut in December would actually perhaps be appropriate. That was trending on CNBC earlier. The odds of a rate cut are still favoring a rate cut coming up in December. So that's going to be good for liquidity. We have major short seller. That's still the big news of the weekend. I don't think the market has had time to digest, but this major short seller is gone out of the trade. And every other day we get a good catalyst for Bitcoin itself. Today we got a catalyst from Square. Square now accepting Bitcoin to Bitcoin payments and Bitcoin to fiat payments. That's another catalyst. Every day we get a catalyst for Bitcoin. The liquidity is just not there. So we have to wait, and we're used to doing this on this channel. And remember, the floodgates have been open, if that makes some sense. The funnel, the black hole in the capital market has been opened by strategy, but not just strategy, right? ASST Strive is doing the same thing, pretty successful also with their preferred SATA. So the capital has been open. It's only a one-way flow. It only flows one way, and so you can see all of the MSTR instruments here. So the common equity, right? That's Bitcoin draining capital away from the equity market, $125 trillion to drain and putting it into Bitcoin. Then we have Strike, Strive, Stride, and Stream. These are draining capital away from the bond market, and that's the biggest market, $300 trillion that is flowing away to Bitcoin in a one-way street. And Stretch being so successful, because I guess the market is fearful. People don't want to have a lot of risk, and so they buy Stretch, and they just want the yield with no risk. That's what Saylor talks about, the high-yield banking account, that what I call that mega stablecoin, a stablecoin that's $100 trading at $100 regardless of what happens, and then you just get a fluctuating yield. That's also flowing capital away from the currency market into Bitcoin. And so in the long run, in my view, this is inevitable. This is working, in my view, over the long run. And I'm so happy to see that Stretch is actually successful. So anyways, as always, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.